Greetings, beloved beings of the new earth. Happy Imbolc, the day of the Celtic goddess. This is a holiday of the Celtic origins of the goddess Brigid. This is the goddess of fertility, of abundance, of creativity, many things, of nature, of the Tao. So hope your day is most beautiful and blessed. My sacred condor and I woke up today. It was like we were in a new world, the new earth. It was a beautiful, glorious day. The sun was shining. Birds were singing. This morning a hawk flew overhead and beautiful clouds everywhere. We saw cloud ships and many beautiful flowing clouds and warm air coming in, the warm breezes of the new earth. So I hope your day is most glorious and blessed. I wanted to put out a quick message for all of you today, February 1st. We come into this new month, and tomorrow is the 2-2 Aquarius gateway. So a lot of energies coming through in this portal for this new golden age of Aquarius. The 5D energies are fully anchored in, fully flowing in. Today it's celebrated as International Freedom Day. A lot of things coming to us, a lot of information, a lot of knowledge of this great shift of the ages, and many tangible things are coming, and a lot of things being sent to me, a lot of messages about this great shift in not just consciousness, but the physical realm. In 10 days from today is the Chinese New Year, where we shift into the year of the wood dragon. We've been talking about this, so the dragon energies. I want to speak briefly because part of this shift in the physical realm, we're going to talk about the tangible physical realm here for a minute, for a change. But it's all connected. The physical with the non-physical, emptiness with form. So there's dragon energies coming in. Most of my life, since I was 17 years old, now been in this realm 50 years, be 51 years young this year. I trained with the masters of the East, many of the masters through the Buddhist lineages, through Zen Buddhism, through Taoism and Hinduism. See, we have the dragons of the East. It's the benevolent dragons, the ones that are guardians of the earth, guardians of the wisdom, the knowledge. In India, the Hindu, we have the Nagas. You know, the Chinese have the dragon, the Japanese. So I train with the white dragons, which is of the martial arts, you know, the white dragon nation, you see. None of the masters ever made me take a vow, you know, any kind of vows, because they knew, even before I did, who White Gold Eagle was and what my mission was to assist humanity and our people. So the white dragons are the guardians, the martial artists, Kung Fu. You see, I trained with the Shaolin and Mao Shan in Demak. Demak means death touch in the East. So I trained in many of the physical arts, you know, the Qi Gongs. All martial arts are Qi Gong. Qi mean energy, Gong, that which takes great effort to master. So the white dragons of the East and the dragon elders are part of the shift of releasing, freeing humanity from these nefarious systems, the judicial systems, the monetary systems. I want to talk briefly about that because it's coming through today through many channels, many people, that the RV is a revaluation of currency. Now money, we say currency. So part of this shift, and this is going to help with the event of free people, you know, from these low densities, from the fear mongering, from the struggle. You know, many people are having financial struggles right now. So this is going to be a debt jubilee. I'm going to speak briefly here about money, because you see, money doesn't even exist anymore. Obviously, we're still exchanging cash, but as far as the money that's flowing through most of this money that's flowing around the world is ones and zeros on a computer. Let me give you one example here. They say the United States of America, the government's in debt $34 trillion. That's total nonsense. Who are they in debt to? I know they would say the Federal Reserve, all these things, but that is a nonsensical number. Most people don't even realize what a trillion of anything is, what a trillion. They might as well say they're in debt an infinity dollars. Let me give you one example here. If you earned $1 million a day, every day of the week, 24/7, $1 million a day, every day for 2,024 years, you would not even have $1 trillion. So this is nonsense. There's not even that much cash money in circulation, and that's a higher GDP than most countries. So it's nonsense. We know this as people wake up to this fact that money is neutral, money itself, money is energy. So you can do great things, or you could do nefarious things like these dark ones, like these false ones have done for hundreds, if not thousands of years, keeping people enslaved in consciousness and in the physical, non-physical, all these things. So part of this release now, the dragon elders of the East, our dragon nation came to the West to teach our people. These are some of the people I train with, some of the masters I train with, to help free us, from the suffering cycles. So today, it was released, Saudi Arabia now just joined Brics. Brics is Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, BRICS. If you don't know that, you can do your own research, but Brics is part of the shift, the RV, because on the new earth, it has to be fair and balanced, you see. It's not fair that the United States dollar is $1 and say the peso of Mexico is a penny, or the dinar is not even worth a penny, when before Desert Storm, the dinar was more valuable than the American dollar. You see, if you read John Perkins' book, Confessions of an Economic Hitman, he talks about how he was part of the government organizations that went to these, what we call third world country, even though what we call third world country are some of the most beautiful places on the planet, you see. But their economy, the people have been suppressed and abused for hundreds of years, and, at a great deep cost. So part of the shift into the new earth, and this is part of the QFS too. Now there's a lot of fearmongers out there. Oh, it's to control, to track, to da-da-da-da-da. The governments have been tracking everything everyone does for many years. They don't need a quantum system to do that, okay? So the QFS it was released today. It's running parallel to these nefarious financial systems, and it is going to be released publicly very soon, we're being told. Hopefully this month, the knowledge, of these systems, the quantum financial system, the RV, the revaluation of all currency, where it means all currency across the planet and every nation is equal. 1-to-1, 1-to-1, not that this is worth $1, that's worth a penny, this is part of the equality. And a lot of these funds, it was reported today, people are getting the funding for the humanitarian projects. Now this is at higher tiers, there's tier A, tier B, whatever they're going by. I don't follow that too closely, because many of our people are holding some of these currencies, like say the Iraq, the dinar, and the Vietnamese dong, the dong, the bolivar. I think that's of Bolivia. And then we have the zim of Zimbabwe, of Africa. The zim is the notes. These are for humanitarian efforts. So what's going to happen here? There's going to be great changes, great shifts. Humanity across the board, across every nation, all debt is going to be wiped. That's part of what's going on. And now when we look at obviously the quantum systems are multi-dimensional, physical with the non-physical, but the tangible assets such as silver, gold, all these things. I'm going to tell you a brief little story here, because it's why China is part of this this whole Brics organization to free humanity from the Babylonian debt slavery system is the they've been accumulating for hundreds of years silver and gold. Now let's look back through history, brief history lesson. The ancient cultures, Brazil, a lot of that, their gold, across the world, there's millions and millions of tons of gold and silver that's been accumulated for thousands of years. Let's be real here. Most things are a lie that are propagated through these networks, and the internet and stuff like that. Just think about just the conquistadors alone. There are stories about the conquistadors, in South America, Central America, just loading ships of gold, sending it back overseas. A lot of this ended up in the Vatican and the kings and queens of Europe. And a lot of this gold and silver that's been accumulated through, say, China, now is hundreds of years old. There was stories that, Egypt was covered in gold. Egypt had thousands and thousands, if not millions of tons of gold. The Incas of South America, you see, the conquistadors, a lot of people don't know, of Spain and of Europe, they came before, around the same time that they were doing their nefarious deeds in South America. They landed in Florida, traveled up through the eastern United States, all the way up to Ohio and into Canada, looking for gold, raping, pillaging, plundering, torturing people. And there was no gold, in the east. It was all in the west and south, more South America. But as you know, the gold rush in California, this whole western area is full of gold. But China, the stories, like their currency was tea, and a lot of this money goes back to, say, the Mongolian Empire. So China's been storing gold for hundreds of years, and silver. You see the British Empire, which is one of the biggest empires after the Mongolian Empire. They were trading silver for the tea. The British fell in love with the tea. Then they ran out of silver. And the Chinese said, what else do you got there? They said, well, we got these fabrics. And they said, we have silk. We got these herbs and spices. We got all the herbs we need. What else? Then they've realized that the Chinese people love the opium. So that's where the whole, Silk Road, that Silk Road was, Marco Polo and, Kublai Khan and all that was, to run opium in and out of China. And then eventually the emperor said, our society is falling apart because everyone's smoking opium in these dens. He made it illegal. And that's when these opium wars, about 300 years ago, there were two major opium wars. It was about tea, really. There's been many wars fought over tea. And so the Mongolian Empire, when they conquered lands, they took all the wealth, all the jewels, the gold, the silver that still exists today. And that's what funded their empire. It was the biggest contiguous empire in the history of the world. And they stole all the gold and silver and put it underground and hid them in caves, all these things, which, is now going to back all currency across the world. All currency will go back to some kind of asset-based, instead of just having no intrinsic value. People call fiat, F-I-A-T, fiat, that it's just whatever value you want to give to it. There's no, money just, once they took it off the gold standard, which most of you know. So this is just part of, this whole shift that we're going through, the RV, all these things. So it's being released, this money for humanitarian efforts. Now every family is going to receive funds to at least basic needs are going to be covered, you see, and every family is going to have a home, a place to live. That's every human being's divine birthright, is to have a home. We call it, in some circles called the kin's domain, and have sacred land that we could build, create food forests and sustainable growing and living a happy, peaceful, simple life, And what's going to happen, because greed is not going to be allowed, and these systems will be tracking all that not each family will have one home. It's how it's been through times. You got, 50 homeless people and one family owns 50 homes. That's called greed. That's not going to be allowed on the new earth. It's going to be equality where every family gets one home. You don't need more than one. You want to build condos, this and that, to go on vacation, whatever. But this is what's going to happen, because there's only so many homes in the world, And the reason why most people like myself and many of our people can't afford a home is because of greed. It's called supply and demand. You got one family holding 50 homes. That lowers the supply and the demand goes up, and the prices now are insane. What we pay for this little apartment is criminal because of greed, because of the greed of these corporations like BlackRock, that buy up all these homes, and then they either sit vacant or they charge outrageous prices. It's got out of control. Many of our people are homeless because of this nonsense and greed, and that is not going to fly on the new earth. Now, this is also when people are released from these slavery systems, that it's going to raise the spirit, raise the consciousness. Many people suffer. There's statistics that show that most marriages end because of money problems. It causes stress, causes people to fight and argue, all these things. That's done. We're here to boost the family. The new earth is about our families. It's about our children, about taking care of our elders and being kind and compassionate to each other. This is bringing peace to the new earth. This is creating the new earth in a tangible, coherent way, congruent with our hearts, with what we want to see on the external. That's why we keep holding our visions, keeping, our visions of the new earth, keeping the light, keeping the love flowing. Let's see what time we have. 17 minutes, brothers and sisters. So many things are coming out in the next few weeks. This dragon energy coming in, this is going to accelerate the shift. This is going to be a powerful month. Tomorrow, the 2-2 portal. I'll probably release this tomorrow. I'll have to edit, upload all those things. And we'll keep you updated as we go through these things and as things come in. And part of this shift and what's linked with the QFS, the quantum financial system, is these technologies such as medical beds. The medical beds will be released. All this is going to be released publicly very soon. And many of our people, have been waiting many years for this RV to happen so that they can step forward and do these projects, together, these humanitarian projects to feed all of our people, to clothe all of our people, to give, room and board, a roof over everyone's head. There's no reason for anyone to be homeless in this day and age, especially, and with all the wealth, but it's been hoarded amongst a few, these families that have been holding the wealth. And, this has been, it's a battle that's been going on for many, many years, as most of you know now, that the benevolence against the malevolent ones, the nefarious ones that have been controlling and running these false duality systems. So we're here in unity consciousness. We're here to shift this whole realm. And we're right on the precipice of this great shift of the ages, of the event. And this is going to help support the event. This is all part of the ascension process, is waking up to the truth that we are all one. We all come from the same source. Many people call it different names, but we're not here to fight over concepts. The Zen master says the concepts are the finger pointing to the moon. Stop staring at the finger and look at the moon already. It's nonsense what, all these wars, most are over resources or belief systems, we're going to take you out because you believe something different than us. It's total stupidity. It's beyond ignorance. It's nonsense and stupidity. Now, there's nothing wrong with rising up to defend your family, defend your people, but these people that go out to divide and conquer for, nefarious reasons, it's total nonsense. As you all know, I'm preaching to the choir here. I tell people, after the scamdemic, you're either, talking, preaching to the choir or talking to a wall, a wall with no consciousness, what people call, NPCs, non-player characters, they're just, there with no consciousness, staring into space, living out a routine, living out a pattern. But that's okay, because we send them our blessings and love. We send our forgiveness. We're not here to judge, just pointing out a fact here, as most of you know. Like, some people either get it or they don't. There's different levels of consciousness, obviously. Some people are totally clueless and others have a much higher awareness. But this is what the education system's all going to shift, change, to teach people how to be creative, creative, conscious creators of, our reality, to help navigate and to help manifest our true heart's desires, our true heart's delights, to live in peace and harmony. When I came into this realm, all I cared about was freedom and truth, and then my whole, childhood and early adult, I sought the truth. What is the truth that's beyond words? So we say, the creator, the divine goddess, the created reality. But what's beyond that, what's beyond the creation, what's beyond the void? We say when you sit in silence and stillness and realize your true nature, which is empty. Emptiness is form and form is emptiness, but from the void comes form. The womb of the cosmic womb of the Divine Mother. But what created that? Keep going through and through and through until you arrive fully at the great mystery. That's the best word we can come up with. One of the best words is great mystery. Native Americans call Wakantanka. Don Juan Matus of Carlos Castaneda's books, Castaneda, is he called the unknowable. There's the known, the unknown, and the unknowable. You can't know it. It's not a concept. It's anything you can imagine. It's beyond even that. Everything you can think of, it's beyond that. So keep going through and through until you return through Mu, M-U, not a thing, the void, into the unknowable. And then you realize the truth, which is your true nature, your Buddha mind, your Christos Sophia consciousness of love. We could say love, but we must even transcend that word into the true meaning, which is our true self. We do our best to guide all of our people to this kingdom of heaven within, which is the truth, beyond all words, beyond all concepts. And we do our best as guides and teachers of the Tao, of the way, of the truth, of the life, of the light. So we hope your day, your Imbolc, if you celebrate Imbolc of the Divine Goddess Bridget, that your day is most beautiful, blessed. You have sacred ceremony honoring the beauty of nature, the beauty of earth, the beauty of life here now. Either alone with your divine counterpart, with your family, with friends, or just with Gaia, with Mother Earth. Get out to nature, stand on the earth. Right now we're having beautiful alignments, beautiful energy just flowing in. So put your awareness into that beauty, the beauty that's within. For beauty is in the eye of the beholder. No one could tell you what's beautiful. You already know. That's the power of pure awareness. Your Buddha mind knows all things. Because I am that I am. I am all things. I am one with all things. There is no separation, only within the simulation. So thank you for joining us today. Thank you all for your support over these years. We appreciate you all. We couldn't be doing this work without all your support. So thank you very much. Have a most blessed day. The eagle and the condor love you all. Aho.